All right, welcome back to Central Valley Buzz, everybody. I'm your host, Chuck Leonard. Willie, let's bring in our first guest today, Mr. Michael Bogart. Hello, sir.
Hi,
How
Chuck.
are you?
Doing
Very
great.
good to see you. What's going on?
Well, you know, we've been talking a little bit about the religious trends that have been tracking over the last, say, 15, 20 years. And there was a research by the Pew Research Group, which really focuses on religion and its trends in the United States. Remember, we talked about how Christians since 2007 have lost between 7 and 8 percentage points of the population.
Right, every year.
No,
overall.
over a 7-year, 8-year period.
Hey, but
now.
before we get too much further into this, you heard my story before?
Yes, I did.
It kind of sounds like a Bible story.
What's that?
Well, you know, the pot guy against the city councilman.
David and Goliath, you mean,
Yeah,
or something like that.
One of those
Maybe.
stories.
Yeah, well, you know, there's a lot of conflict going on from all sorts of, you know, issues and different groups of people these days, and I guess you could look at it all biblically if you wanted to, but certainly there's a lot of interest in the Bible, and you know, people refer to Bible stories like you just did. And what I find is a lot of people are biblically fairly ignorant these days.
Thank you very much.
Well, I don't mean you. I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about the general public. For example, I teach at West Hills College, as you know. When I first started teaching there 23 years ago as an adjunct, I could count on a certain healthy percentage of the enrolled students in my classes having some knowledge of the Bible. Anymore, it's hit and miss. I mean, there's a lot of students that have zero exposure to any of that.
Can I tell you that one of those two people that I was referring to in the opening story is Mormon?
Well, okay.
Think about that for a second.
I would have to sort of wonder which one it was then.
You wonder away, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have a book on Mormonism, don't you?
I do.
Is that a popular one?
Yes, it is. Actually, I would say the most popular one is this 45-minute Bible. And then after that is the book I wrote on Islam.
Right.
And then I would say the third one would be the book on Mormonism, because people are always asking about those people. And you know that I try to write fact-based books. I've been teaching world religion in public, you know, higher education for a number of years. And so, you know, you need to make sure that your facts are there, that you're not trying to beat up on anybody. In fact,
nothing personal's coming out.
Well, you try not to let that happen. You know, I suppose every author has their bias. But you know, talking about the book on Mormonism, when I was going to release it on Amazon, I thought, you know, I've never really run this by any official in the Mormon Church. So I found a website that had some email addresses ending in .lds, which I guess is their
Latter-day Saints.
Yeah. And so I emailed this guy and I said, hey, look, I'm going to put out a video and a book on Mormonism. I wonder if you would like to at least review it to tell me what you think before I release it. And so he said, I'm not your guy, but there's a guy at Brigham Young University who does this for the church. And so here's his email. So I emailed him thinking I'll probably not hear back from the guy. Well, in about 2 days, I got an email back. He says, sure, I'll love to interview to review your stuff. So I sent him the video, and then within a week, I got an email back saying, thanks for not beating up on us. and I thought, should I have beat up on you? I mean,
what's the number one question people have for Mormons?
Well,
about Mormons, I should say.
They want to, there's a variety of things. First of all, they want to know whether they should be considered mainstream Christians or not. That seems to be the big thing now, because the Mormon Church is trying to convince people that they're mainstream Christians, and all.
But their story is different.
Their story is different, and all branches of mainstream Christianity, including Catholicism, most Protestant groups, and so on, would say, well, you know, whatever they are, they're not one of us, because they've got such different beliefs about basic Christian things. So that's one issue. The other issue, they always want to know about the polygamy thing in the past. That's always a real interest. And about the...
Is that really in the past?
Well, in the LDS Church, the official LDS Church in Utah, it's a thing of the past. Mm-hmm. Among fundamentalist groups that have broken away, it's not a thing of the past, and that's what you get in the news. But the Utah Church will always say, hey, look, whatever those guys are doing, that's not us. And so, you know, in fact, the head of the fundamentalist LDS is still in jail, I think, for child molestation.
Ooh.
Yeah, he got carried away.
Carried away? I don't know about 45-minute Bible.
Yes.
You want to throw it up there today for people.
I certainly do.
Well, why is this one important to get in people's hands?
Well, because like I talked about before, so many people know little bit about the Bible, or their knowledge is very spotty about it. This is a book that gives an overview of what's in there. There's no detail, there's no depth, but it's kind of like what's in there from beginning to end, the big picture. And
will you be able to go out in public and talk about the Bible after reading this?
I think you'll be a lot more knowledgeable about the Bible. Yeah, you would certainly know the major themes, the divisions, kind of like the documentary background, but also what the important intentions and goals of the biblical writers are. So yeah, I think this would be a real helpful thing. So we're doing a special right now today, this week, for the first person that emails me at mike@aspectministries.com. I will send you a free copy.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay, this is Michael Bogart. He's here with me every Wednesday. He has Aspect Ministries and 21st Century Faith. If you want that book, hit him up and be the first one.
Right.
So you can get it. If not, they're only, what, $14.95?
That's right.
Okay. When you see Michael around town, tell him you saw him right here on The Buzz. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. Stick around.